Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Welcome back to the channel. A lot of the times we talk about how to make money, how to save money, how to invest money. And then we recently just started talking about how to protect your assets. So to piggyback off of that, I wanted to get into a lot of scams that a lot of people get weaseled into that they may or may not be aware of, and how to identify these things so that you are not involved in any scam or on the wrong side of it. So people text me, call me all the time. Hey, I want to get into real estate. I want to get into, selling homes or renting them out. The biggest scam that I see in the real estate market is contractor scams. So just recently, I had I wouldn't necessarily say a friend or colleague, but this person typically asks me for advice all the time when it comes to repairs and people that they should use within the state that I live in. And so they recently said, hey, I wanted to get my asphalt redone, which is not something that she really needed done, but she decided to go through with it anyway and paid $1,250 for the asphalt to be redone. Now, this can break the bank for one person, but it's not life-changing money for the other person, right? And so we would hope that everyone has a good heart and does the right thing, but in this case, the person did not do the right thing. The person ran off with her money and did not do the asphalt that needed to be done. With that being said, she was out of $1,250. Now, I don't necessarily have an asphalt contractor or an asphalt person, and so I offered to do this for her as just a courtesy. Now, in most cases, I'll offer a company that I have used and recommend, but most people in the neighborhood do their own asphalt. So when you are an out-of-state investor and you are looking to get things done and renovated, if you do not have a property manager that can handle these things and do these things for you, it is best to hire out to specific companies that can do the work that you need done. With that being said, I think the next thing that I would do is tell her to get a property manager that she trusts. But at the same time, she's hasn't been good at picking contractors. This is not the first time. And so I want to be sure that maybe I even help identify the right property manager in the process for her, free of charge, because obviously I don't want investors to quit the game because of an upset or because of a setback. Now, other scams that are very common is the I can help you scam. And the I can help you scam comes in many forms, in many ways. For example, I can help you get $5,000, $50,000, $100,000 on Cash App, right? Those type of scams are very common and very rampant. I can help you get $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 off of your Zelle. All you need to do is open up this bank account and I'll put some money in there for you, and then I just need you to send it to me. That's a scam, right? They're not depositing money into the bank account. They're giving you a fake check, and then they're telling you to send that fake check money to them. And when the bank the next day or week follows up and identifies that there's actually no money in the account, what do? They charge you, the card holder, the person who opened up the bank account, with this fraudulent overdraw on the account, and then you are then sent to collections and have debt creditors calling you at all hours of the day. And so plenty of people are hit with the fake check and wire the money to people who shouldn't be having the money. Or people open up these accounts in your name, use the fake check, take all the money out right there, right in front of you, and then you're still left as an accomplice holding the bag, not getting any of the financial gain and resources. And it's just very, very sad to see. So with that being said, it is sad, but that is the most common one that I've seen. Now we have these credit card scams where people are copying your credit cards by using fake card readers. They're attaching additional card readers to scan your card and take your credit card information. And so another way to block that out is to simply use Apple Pay. Now, I will tell you an interesting thing for me. I have already closed this account, but I had a Chase credit card for a short period of time. And someone ended up using it in California for some chiropractic services. Now, as you all know, I'm an Army veteran, and if I needed some chiropractic services, I would go to the VA. But my card was used for these chiropractic services, and because they use Apple Pay, I was held liable. Now, that was very concerning, because how can you use Apple Pay without this handsome face in front of the card? And so that was a shocker to me, that they were able to use Apple Pay for the chiropractic services and then never used it again. They never used my card again until I shut it down 3 months later. So that was very interesting how, Apple Pay was used for that transaction as soon as I opened up the credit card, but then they could no longer use the credit card. That made absolutely no sense, 0 sense whatsoever. And so with Chase, I was just dumbfounded by their lack of understanding. I've never been to California a day in my life. GPS tracking, all these different type of trackings you can do in order to understand that I've never been out there. And then another reason why I signed up for Chase is they were offering a $200 bonus reward if you spend about $5,000 or more within the next 2 to 3 months. I hit that goal. And what was shocking is that I had to use my reward money to pay off the chiropractic services, because it made me feel as though I wasn't paying it off myself. And then I had to shut down the account because Chase did not do their duty in protecting me as a consumer from fraud, and assuming that I was in California when there was no way, no how that I could be. And you're not having an actual person talk to you. They're just doing this random review and identifying that through their experience, I'm wrong. Okay. So that was very unfortunate. I actually wanted to continue to keep that account. I wanted to continue to have another credit card line. But because there was absolutely no due diligence that went into them holding me liable for the chiropractic services, I said, if something happens in the future that is way more risky than $150 or $180 in chiropractic services, I do not want to be banking with Chase in that regard. Now, I do still like Chase as a company, as a business, but because they work with hundreds of thousands and millions of people, I'm sure that they're trying to find ways to circumvent a lot of fraud from happening. But when fraud does happen, I would hope that they hold themselves accountable as well. And so we talked about a lot here today, but I still wanted to get into a couple of other things that are very pressing when it comes to fraud and how a lot of people are getting wrapped up into it. Another fraud is relationship fraud, and this happens often as well. People will try to seduce you. People will try to leverage their relationship with you in order to get money out of you. I recently had my cousin text me on Instagram saying, hey, I'm in a really bad position and I need money right now. My cousin has never texted me on Instagram asking for money. And so I said, sure, I would be more than happy to send you some money. They said, cool, can you send it through the payment method that I give to you? And I said, no, I'll just send it to you the same way I always send it to you. Which I've never sent my cousin money. But what happened right after that was they stopped responding, right? Because they knew that they weren't going to get any money out of me, and therefore they stopped trying. This person was like, you know what? I did all the effort into getting into this account, but immediately I was halted by this individual who would not give me any of his financial resources. And then I had to text my cousin and say, hey, have you been hacked? And then they then said, yes, I was hacked. You guys do not send any money to this person. I was like, it would have been nice to know that 2 hours ago when you actually were hacked. And now you're finally telling the entire family about it. Like, you should have said something earlier, right? But I was smart enough to know not to send money through that method. I would have at least FaceTime or spoke to the person first prior to sending any money to them. Now, another scam that is rampant is people selling or renting homes that they don't own. And I've had people come up to me and say, hey, he must be a scammer on Facebook Marketplace. They'll call me a scammer. And I'll say that's preposterous. It's absolutely impossible. But me being so young and owning rental properties, I can see why some people would jump to that conclusion right away. But I hate when people don't do actual research to understand who owns what, right? And so it just took a little bit of research to simply take a look at the address of the property, take a look at who the owner is, and you would see that my name matches, and you would see that I am the owner. But, you know, a lot of people don't do their due diligence. And so there are people who get scammed every single day, pay their deposit, pay their rent for a property that they've never seen, never did a walkthrough of, because they simply want to be able to move out. They're in a desperate situation. They want to do this right now. I've had people offer me money sight unseen so many times. I mean, $200, $300, $400, $600, $800, $1,600. And I would always tell them, nope, you have to do a walkthrough of the place first, and then we will decide from there, after your background check, whether or not I'm going to move forward with your application. And so, you know, there are a lot of people who want to forego that process and skip that process. I am not one of them. I do not take people's money without them at least doing those 3 steps: walk through the property, background check, and then have that lease in place. And so, you know, there's a lot of people who have skipped that step in that process. And I won't lie to you, there was a time in my life where I also skipped that step in that process, not as a landlord, but as a tenant. When I was in college and I was moving off campus, I did a sight unseen, never did a walkthrough of the place, spoke to a property manager. I put the deposit down, I put the rent down, and I moved into a small box, literally a box. Bathroom was moldy, didn't even know it. I lived in a box. I paid everything, did not even see the property. And then when it was time to move in, I actually did get the keys. So I wasn't scammed. But again, I would not tell people to use this method. I would tell people to go ahead and see the property first prior to, paying for something and signing your life off to something. So with that being said, just again, doing that extra step, due diligence. Don't ever let your emotions cloud your judgment, especially relationship wise. I've had people call me, text me, hey, I'm stuck. Hey, I'm about to lose my home. Hey, I'm this and that. Listen, I'm not your financial pocketbook, but what I am is a resource for you in order to support and help you. I can guide you with the resources you may need. I can guide you in the steps that you can take to get out of your situation. I can support you in getting there, but financially, I am not your anchor to lean on, especially if you're not someone that I speak to on a regular basis at the very least. Right? So a lot of people just randomly, they see, oh, Festus is doing okay. Let me reach out to him and ask for his advice on X, Y, and Z. But we don't talk on a regular basis. You don't ask me how I'm doing. And so I just wanted to make that clear as well. Like, don't allow emotional guilt, trauma, or anything above to affect the financial decisions that you make moving forward and anything that you're currently working through now. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.